I just feel energized and invigorated with the fall season and the fall weather. Hello, welcome to Tejedoraknits. My name is Gladys. I am a knitter based out of Southern Nevada here in the United States, and welcome to my little knitting corner of the internet. So prime knitting time is upon us. We are slowly, ever so slowly inching into fall. Here in the desert in Southern Nevada, that means that it is finally cool enough to where I can wear my summer knits. So that kind of means fall for me. We usually don't get sweater weather until November, but I think it's cool enough to where I can start working with warmer projects, warmer fabrics, so that way they will hopefully get done in the season and I can enjoy them in this cooler season upcoming. So two sections to this video. One, I'm going to review the projects that I will be making, that I have yarn for, that I would like to finish in this year. And then I will also include a few more patterns that I just don't think I will get to. Maybe one day. I think they're all stunning, some new, some quite a bit older, but I'll share those as well, just like as inspiration for all of us. So let's get started. So today, because it is a fall plans video and I have reached 1,000 subscribers, I just wanted to say thank you so much and give back a little bit to you all and be able to contribute to your fall plans. So I wanted to do a pattern giveaway. So for 2 different winners, I want to be able to gift you whatever digital pattern you would like, whether that be for your fall plans or, you know, elsewhere. I'd like to gift you any digital pattern, whether that be through Ravelry or if you prefer through the designer's website, just as long as it's accessed digitally. So that way we don't have to worry about shipping, and if you don't live in the United States, you can still participate. So all you need to do is just leave a comment below. That's all you need to do. Leave a comment below. Make sure that you like the video, and of course that you're subscribed to the channel. In the next video, I'll pick 2 random comments to gift you the pattern of your choice, and I'll have you contact me so that way I can get whatever pattern you would like over to you. So I know it's just a small little pattern, but still I just wanted to show a little token of appreciation for all of your lovely support on this channel. So don't forget to leave a comment below to be entered. My very first fall plan is the Candelaria blouse by Teti Lutsak. So this is a fingering weight colorwork blouse made in a modular technique. So it has like that bit of like a squared off type of look. It has 3/4 inch sleeves and kind of just a little bit of positive ease, nothing crazy. But yeah, this one is knit up in 3mm needles and fingering weight, held double for the color work, almost a DK. I think that is really the only way that I can get away with wearing color work projects, because just a DK held double, it's just a little too much it would be far too warm for my climate. So I think this one was a great color work compromise for me. And this is the one project that I have actually already started. So let me show you what I have so far. I'm knitting this also in very summery fibers. So the main color is Woolberry berry linen, which is an alpaca linen and silk blend, and the contrast color is knitting for olive pure silk. So I think that, oh, it's all my threads. I think this will be a very wearable piece for several months out of the year. Definitely not prime summertime, but in spring, fall, winter, I think this will be a very wearable piece. So that is my first project. I think that one will be quite a bit of a labor of love just because of the smaller stitches, but that is fine with me. Next, I have my cardigan for the season, which is the Beatrix cardigan. So if you watched my cardigan roundup video, you know I was debating between the Corshavan cardigan from Tanya Hodney, I believe it is, or the Beatrix cardigan from Gregoria Fibers. And the Gregoria Fibers Beatrix cardigan was the main winner. And that's what I'm gonna go for. So I am using this yarn. It is the Yak. It is the Yak, Baby Yak DK weight yarn from Ulla and Leah. So this is 100% Baby Yak from Mongolia. And I have it like this because the yarn still comes with the spinning fiber, the spinning oil on it. So I did wash the first few skeins with hot water and dish soap just so that it plumps up. I prefer to do it this way as opposed to having to aggressively wash the finished object. So this one is ready to be wound up in a cake. I really love, this is a natural yak color, so it is not dyed. And I love how it's a beautiful, neutral, almost cool toned brown. It's not very warm, which I love that. So I will be swatching for it because the pattern recommendation is for an Aran weight yarn, and it is at a much tighter gauge. It has a beautiful like textured pattern. I don't know exactly what stitches it might be on the body of the cardigan. It has the little cables down the button band, or I guess it's not like a full button band since the buttons are on the edge with a little loop, and then a big chunky cable down the sleeves. So this one, it's quite a big rounded bouncy DK, so I think I should be able to meet gauge. And also this one has a lot of positive ease recommended, about 10 to 11 inches. I don't personally prefer that much positive ease in my garments, so even if my gauge is a smidge tighter than what is recommended, I don't mind that because ideally I would love to have maybe like 6 or 7 inches of positive ease. So we'll see. I'll hopefully get around to swatching pretty soon for this one and to see how that will work up. So that is going to be my second garment project. I decided to do 2 more garment projects, so a total of 4. Let's see how much of that I can finish up. So let's talk about the next one. My next project is the Firth sweater by Rebecca Clow. I have been waiting for such a long time for the Firth sweater to come out because it is just such a beautiful classic piece, but like the finishings on the, like has ribbing around the arm and down through like the side of the body. I just think that looks so cool. It has chunky like 2x2 rib as opposed to 1x1, which I also think is really cool. And with Rebecca's patterns, I just know the fit is going to be impeccable. It does have a set-in sleeve and it has really nice bust shaping. I was looking at the bust shaping on quite a few of the test knits, or even on like the pictures that she did for the test shoot, I guess. And the bust shaping looks so good, like so good. And to make it even better, it's a dual gauge pattern. So there is a pattern for DK weight and a pattern for fingering weight, both for the same price. So Rebecca really just knows how to deliver good value for what you're paying for. So I'm going to make the fingering weight option. I know fingering weight, I feel like it's not as fun, but for me it's fun because I actually get to wear these beautiful pieces for a lot more time out of the year. So I'm going to be making my fingering weight Firth sweater. I think size 2 I think was my size. I'm not entirely sure, but I will be adding in the D-cup bust shaping, so I'm very excited about that. And the yarn that I'm going to be using is this Yak Silk Fingering by Zeezee Textiles. I did purchase this one at Flock, so this is going to be my first Flock yarn that I will be using. This one is a 65% superwash merino, 20% silk, 15% yak. It is a 3-ply, and this is the color Wood Paneled. So it is, this one I feel like it's a little difficult for the camera to pick up, but it's a really dark plummy color, slightly, I feel like in certain lights it looks pretty brown, but it is a true plum. So I think this one is absolutely stunning. I'm just imagining this, it's going to be like a staple piece in my wardrobe that I feel like I'm going to get a lot of use on. So I did already purchase the pattern. I purchased it the weekend that it came out with the introductory discount code. So I'm very excited to cast this one on. I was planning on leaving this one for my winter projects, but I was like, no, I'm ready. I'm so excited for this one. So why not? So this is going to be my third one. And then I have one last final garment that I have planned. My final one is the Lucrezia blouse by Fabel Knitwear. So I just think this one is just so elegant and dainty and beautiful. It has like that little bit of a puff sleeve with the gathered wrist and that lace at the bottom of the body. I just think it looks so elegant. And this one is made with a mohair held double. So I will be using the mohair from Knit Picks. It's called Aloft. So this one is oh, it doesn't have, oh, here it is, 72% super kid mohair, 28% silk. This one is very soft. I'm personally not very sensitive to mohair, and I think this one is absolutely lovely. So this is the color Carbon. So it's a really dark, carbon is a good word for it. It's like a bluish gray, like a very steely color. And this one I would really love to wear for Christmas events. So for my work Christmas parties, I think it's very elegant and beautiful. So this is why I'm doing this one in my fall plans, because I would like for it to be complete by the month of December when I have all of my Christmas events for my workplace. So I do already own the pattern. This is in the Romantic Knits book from Fabel Knitwear that I purchased very early on in this year. And this is going to be my first pattern from the book. She has lots of beautiful, lots of mohair patterns. And I do have a video reviewing that book, or like going over the patterns in that book. So if you're interested, that would be a fun one to check out. So this is the 4th garment that I have planned. Now, there's always so many more things. I have, my yarn stash is quite robust right now. So if I happen to speed through all 4 of those, there's lots more that can get work. I do have a few accessory patterns though that I would like to make as well. The first one, I am planning on making quite a few different accessories for gift knitting. So I'm just going to talk about the first one, which is almost ready to be cast on. And I want to make the Citrine beanie for my dad. This is a pattern by Vert Knit. And I just like the little cables that kind of peek out of the brim, and it is a DK weight. So I have this, it's already caked up, this skein of Merino. So I remember I left the little tag in here. This was left over from a project I did early in the year. So this is from Aran Woolen Mills. This is an Irish company. I purchased a cabled sweater cardigan from them, and I purchased a sweater quantity of yarn as well. And I had a full 100-gram cake left over. So this is a 100% super soft merino wool. It is super wash, and the color is seaweed green. So it is a dark green, slightly heathered. So I know that this is a color that my dad will wear. And if needed, I think I'm going to put in a little bit of this yak in like the overlap in the brim, like underneath, so that way I can finish the beanie with just 100 grams, because I think you need a little bit more than that. So I think I should have a bit left over of this, so I'll probably put some of that in there. This is also very soft, so I think this will be very comfortable against the tight against the head. My dad does not have very much hair, so it's just his skin. So I want to make sure that it's nice and soft and comfortable for him. So this is the first gift knit that I will be casting on. And then 2 little accessories that I would like for myself. So the first one is a cowl that I have been waiting and wanting to make for a very long time. And I have the yarns here on my board, so let me get them. So I want to make the Velvet Mirror Cowl by Andrea Mowry. So it is a colorwork cowl made with 1 strand of sport weight yarn, which I have from Salty Blonde Fine Fibers. I have the color Rocky Mountain High in sport weight, which is 100% superwash merino. Beautiful, cool toned variegated with blues and greens in it. And it is worked, the colorwork contrast color, I guess, is 1 strand of fingering weight, light fingering Surrey alpaca. So this is from the Lamb and Kid. This was also a flock purchase. This is their Birde base, which is 74% Surrey alpaca, 26% silk. So this is a cowl that I think will work. These 2 colors are going to look beautiful together. And yeah, I think for early mornings, I think this will be really nice. Fun fact, this skein is from my very first indie yarn order. So I've had this for a while. So I'm very excited to finally use it up. It has the perfect pairing, and that just sounds like a really cool project. So my last little accessory that I have planned for myself are a pair of fingerless mitts. I love a good fingerless mitt. I use them pretty much every morning in the winter when I'm driving to work and school drop off and things like that. So I want to make the Uvia mitts by Kristen Jancook. So these are just like beautiful colorwork mittens. I think they are inspired off of architecture from Mexico City, which is a very special touch. I love that. So I just think these are really cool. And I think I have the right scraps in my collection to make them work. So this is from Ruby and Roses. This is, I know this ball is all falling apart, but this is their fingering weight base. This is the color Glow Up from the Downton Abbey collection. This was left over from my Palm Springs tank. I think this is about 40 grams or 60 grams. One of those. So anyway, I think this is 40 grams or 60. I don't know. So anyways, it's a good enough ball. So I would use that for the blue. And then I remembered I have this little ball in my stash. It's also not very aesthetic, but this is the alpaca fingering weight yarn from Drops. I just have a single ball that I purchased to kind of try it out. It's fine. I can't say it's my favorite for like garments, but I think for mitts, it'll be perfectly fine. So these are the two colors together. My only concern is that this yarn bleeds a ton, like a ton. So now I'm considering, like, should I wind this back into a hank and soak it with some vinegar or something like that first and then rewind it? But that seems like a lot of work. I have purchased color catchers to block a different project. So I'm thinking maybe if I just use a color catcher, should I even block them if they're going to be mitts? I don't know. So I'm kind of working through that, but I would like to use these. I think it's a good way of using up some like odd ends of yarn in my stash. So we'll see. If you have any suggestions on what to do with that, please let me know. So those are the accessory projects. So those are my plans. Now let's move into some more pattern inspiration. Lots of beautiful patterns are being released right now. So some of these are newer patterns and some of them are a bit older. The first one that I wanted to mention is the Rosie Sweater by Knit. Super popular. I feel like everybody's talking about it. It is an absolute stunner. It has like this vintage look to it, and I absolutely fell in love. I am enamored with it. And I was kind of thinking, I was planning on making the curse sweater that I purchased these two yarns for. This is the Ulisse yarn from Durham Natura. It is a sport weight, but it is pretty bouncy and full. And I was kind of thinking, like, what if I make the Rosie sweater with this instead? So like the roses would be in this beautiful pink, and this is like a Merlot. I'm not sure how it's showing up on camera, but this is like a burgundy wine Merlot color. And I think I might do that. I would also make some modifications. So first of all, I would never do that kind of neckline. I don't wear turtle or mock necks or things like that. So definitely adjust the neckline. And with my curse sweater, I was planning on steeking it and turning it into a cardigan. I think I might do that with the Rosie sweater. You know, leave in the steeking stitches in the center. I've never steeked, so who knows how that's going to turn out. But I think that would be a really good substitution. And given that my yarn that I have here is a sport, I still feel like it also has a ton of positive ease. So I'm not partial to a ton of positive ease, as I already mentioned. So even if my gauge is slightly tighter, I think that would still work out perfectly. So I think that one's a high contender for like my winter plans perhaps, or even spring, but I think I really might make that one. So it's just so beautiful. I love it. So anyways, moving on, another super popular pattern, the Ovis by Caitlin Hunter. The little sheepies. This is so cute. I love this, but it is a DK weight full color work sweater. So that would be like what, maybe like an Aran, even. What does DK held together make? Aran? Bulky? Let's just say Aran. So like a full Aran weight sweater, there may be 5 days out of the year that I would be able to wear a sweater like that. And for the amount of work that would be, I just don't think it's worth it for me. Now, if I really wanted to, maybe I could like try it out with a sport yarn and adjust the sizing, blah, 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 blah. But I kind of think that that's just a lot of work. So I don't know. She is releasing a sheep beanie, like an Ovis beanie, which I also think is very cute. Again, I don't know if I would do that. I think Caitlin Hunter's patterns are really cool. She has a lot of the fish patterns, but I just don't see myself wearing those types of garments in my everyday life. Like, I am a very outdoorsy nature person, but fish is not my jam. So I really liked the option of this sheep one, but the weight is just not gonna work for my climate. But if it works for your climate, really cool. I think it's really cool. Next, I have a older pattern. This is the Matcha Jumper by Vert Knit. I actually really like her styling. She also has like a few dresses. I think that girl dress was a recent one. I would love to make that next summer, but that's for a different video. But I really like her Matcha Jumper. And the color, it just has like a good classic construction. It's like a good staple piece, and it looks very polished. Now, I would love to make this in the Bishi Bouche thick mohair, the Le Gros mohair. I got to see that yarn in person. I think it's absolutely lovely. So maybe I'm turning 30 next year, and that yarn is expensive. So maybe like a nice birthday present to myself, I can get a full sweater quantity to make the Matcha Jumper with the thick mohair. Maybe, just throwing it out. I might do that, but I have not got around to making the Matcha Jumper this year. Hopefully next year, but I do think that this is a very beautiful pattern. Another one that was released actually this summer is the Medokvit. I'm unsure of the pronunciation. I'm going to say Medokvit by Teti Lutsak, which I am a big fan of these patterns, but they are very, very involved. So they're not just like a quick stockinette knit. So this is another modular construction that she has, kind of similar to the Candelaria one, but this one is kind of a square up at the front. And it has cables, it has color work, it has so much going on. I think it is a sport weight gauge if I'm not mistaken, but I saw that some of the testers used DK weight, so I think it's like a little bit versatile in that aspect. I think I would love to make this with more of like a summery type of yarn, so that way it's a little bit more wearable. So I mean, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful, and it will be a labor of love. It does not look like an easy, like I said, an easy breezy project, but I do think it would definitely be worth it. The next one that I have is it's just a classic. It's rustic, it's outdoorsy. Like I would wear this out hiking. This is the Pop-Um Pullover by Alicia Plummer. So this is a worsted weight pullover quarter zip sweater. And it's just like a good classic piece. I mean, this is a piece that I feel like, especially if you use like a more affordable yarn, like it's not a piece that you would have to be delicate with. You could just throw it on anytime, anywhere, and just be like a very good solid basic that you could always come back to. So I don't see myself knitting this one anytime soon, but again, this is a beautiful piece, and if you're more of an outdoorsy person, I think that this would be a really useful piece. Or if you just like to lounge around at home, it would be great for that too. The next one up that I have is a pretty recent release. This is the Shell Tee by the Knit Pearl Girl. And I know you're thinking maybe a short sleeve fingering weight tee doesn't sound very fall, but this long sleeve sample that she made, I think is like really cool for the transitional end of summer into early fall type of weather. I think the color choices that she used for the stripes are really cool. Can we say again, I love a fingering weight pattern, like come on. So I do plan on making this one perhaps next summer. Because it is striped, I'm thinking I can start accumulating some summer yarn scraps, so that way, you know, I can use those to make the tee, whether it be the long or the short sleeve. I haven't gotten that far, but it is a raglan construction. I think it looks really nice, like a good in between of casual but still looks polished, which is my favorite combination. So this one is a really cute one. Next up, I have two patterns from Magdalena Parker, which is, I think she knitology, I think it's knitonomy or something like that she has her Instagram username. And her thing is like cables, like she is a prolific cabler. And I was kind of scrolling through her patterns, and these two, well, one of them specifically really caught my mind because it's fingering weight. So the one that I am talking about is the Bloomfield Tee, which is tight cabling all over, like all over in fingering weight. So again, not for the faint of heart, but I just feel like I could get so much use out of that fingering weight garment. I don't have anything in my stash that would work for that. I feel like all my fingering weights that do not have plans assigned to them are not the right composition to hold cables, aka alpaca. It's like hanging up over here. I don't think cables and alpaca would probably be a good idea. So eventually I might acquire yarn to make this, but I would like to make this in a long sleeve version, so that way it's more like a sweater as opposed to a tee. But I hear you if you're like, I love that for you, Gladys, but that fingering weight is just not for me. I feel you, it's okay. So another one of hers that I really liked is the Fresno Sweater Light, which is a DK, which I know is a lot of people's happy place. And this one has like very chunky cables that look kind of like braids. I've never made cables like that before. And I just think that this one has, I think a lot of her cabling patterns are just like, wow, they look beautiful. So this one I think is probably a little bit more approachable to a lot of people. I would love to make some more of any of her patterns. So I just think that that was a newer designer that I encountered. I don't think either of those patterns are new. She does have some newer ones that have just been released, but I really liked those two. So I don't know, I feel like that might be a fun new designer to try out. That is it. That is all I have for you. I didn't want this video to get too long and overwhelming. So I think my plans are pretty realistic. I'm pretty sure I can get through them, or at the very least, they will all be cast on and worked on, even if it goes into the winter time as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. You found some inspiration for your patterns. I think we're all ready to say hello to fall, and I just feel energized and invigorated with the fall season and the fall weather. I love fall and winter, my favorite seasons of the year, so I'm so ready. So anyways, thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of your time with me. I so appreciate all of your support. And don't forget to leave a comment below if you would like to be part of the pattern giveaway. I will be announcing the winners in my next video, which should be in about 10 days. So stay posted for that. So again, until the next time, bye.